What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. I haven't said that in quite some time. Welcome back to the JW Sports Talk Show. And the first thing, we have a few things on the agenda today. We're going to talk about the Colts' interest and the cornerback that the Kansas City Chiefs just won the Super Bowl with, L'Jarius Sneed. The Colts are interested in an incredible cornerback. He just had an incredible season. Just won a Super Bowl, obviously, and it's exciting to see that the Colts are getting a little giddy. They're finally getting a little bit active, and they're getting their feet in the race. They're just getting in the race of free agency and trading, and already participating with the new league year right around the corner. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. How are you guys feeling? Are you guys pumped up about this too? I mean, we got L'Jarius Sneed. No, we didn't get L'Jarius Sneed, but this is something that is possibly in the works. There are 7 teams that are interested in L'Jarius Sneed. The Colts were reportedly one of them. It's pretty exciting because, as we know, the offseason has been pretty boring for the Colts either way. Chris Ballard's always said we're going to build through the draft, build the slow way, do it this way, and not make any flashy moves. That's not that's just not his style. What his style is, building slow, giving a couple million to some role players here and there, and getting the steals. He's not looking to get the flashy players up front. He's looking to get the steals, to get the guys that are just blossoming and just hope that they blossom and they take that huge step with the Colts. So the the interest in L'Jarius Sneed, should the Colts really be interested in this guy? Should the Colts really go after L'Jarius Sneed? Is he a good fit for them? Will he take this Colts defense to the next step? So let's look at the cornerback room. You have Julius Brents. He had a pretty good rookie season when he was healthy. Issue kind of wasn't really healthy, and then he had a couple rough spots here and there against some better wide receivers. He struggled a little bit, but he's a rookie, and as a rookie, I thought he made a pretty fair contribution to the team. He played pretty well. He held his own pretty well. And then earlier on, if you go to the season, look at that Baltimore game. He shifted the momentum in that game. I remember the Ravens, they're already up a touchdown. They're driving down once again. All of a sudden, rookie cornerback Julius Brents just comes up behind them, comes up behind whoever it was, Gus Edwards, or I think it was Melvin Ingram, I think it was maybe, pop the ball out, and he changed momentum in that game. And if that didn't happen, I don't know if the Colts really win that game, really. But that's that. It's the NFL. It's a bunch of what ifs, and what if this doesn't happen? That's just the NFL, man. But L'Jarius Sneed, he would be an exciting addition. Would he be the right one though? Would he be a good one? Sometimes you get really excited about a certain player, about a specific player, but that player isn't really the right fit. Isn't really what you have expected him to be. We see many times players have one great season and they go to another team and they never look the same, and people are like, "Oh, this team wasted 20 million, however much money they wasted." Usually it's a big sum of money because when you have these teams that are just never really good. They never really have a good reputation, don't have a good background. What do they really have in place? Do they have any substance? Those franchises that don't have the substance typically have to pay a little more to attract some of the better talents, but really they're not attracting this talent. Whoever gets L'Jarius Sneed, they have to just trade for him. So that's positive there. But L'Jarius Sneed, man, what the Chiefs like to do is I think it's important to note what the Chiefs like to do, because what the Chiefs like to do, that's what L'Jarius Sneed has done the most. That's what he's done. And you look at the Chiefs, they like to pressure, they like to blitz. Steve Spagnuolo loves to blitz, loves to send more than 5 guys, more than 4 guys. He doesn't just want 4 guys up front making that pressure. He wants to confuse the quarterback. Lots of man coverage, lots of putting their cornerbacks on islands, and L'Jarius Sneed did that quite a bit. And even before that, L'Jarius Sneed looked pretty good. See, Steve Spagnuolo has been there for a little while. Uh, Start with the ums already. Got to cut that out. But L'Jarius Sneed is a really good fit. I think he could play in cover 3. He's a decent sized corner, and I think he has some really good traits that the Colts will love and that Chris Ballard will love. It seems like he's a pretty quiet guy. Doesn't really talk too loud. Doesn't really cause any issues in the locker room. That's kind of a Chris Ballard guy right there. And there are some things to look into L'Jarius Sneed, and there are some things to get excited about, but you do need to step back and kind of look at the situation for a moment and be like, do the Colts really need him? And if they do, will he really pan out? Do the pros outweigh the cons? All that kind of stuff. And coming from that kind of system is, that's another thing to ask. Is L'Jarius Sneed a system specific kind of player? Because it seemed like he had his best year. He really took his leap when, in that man coverage for the third year. Fourth year he's been around. Four, because the Chiefs just had to do the franchise tag and such. And he's gradually gotten better over time. And I think that's the sign of a player that could go anywhere and play really well. Maybe he won't play his best if he's not in this strength with man coverage, but I think he would be very capable of playing a coverage like a cover three, which we all know Gus Bradley calls almost all game long. He calls the most cover three, barely blitzes, barely does any of that stuff. So you're going to really have to hope that these guys can hold their coverage, or those front four guys, or whoever 4, 3, whoever, however much you have lining up to go after the quarterback. You need those guys to get home. So will L'Jarius Sneed coming over to the Colts, will he be the same as he was with the Chiefs? Will he be the same? We always see players play really well with one team. They go to the next and they just aren't the same player. I do think L'Jarius Sneed could come to Indianapolis, and I do think that he could play similar. So that's a pro. That's a big pro. It's a big check. Let's go. Bring him over. Wouldn't be opposed to it. L'Jarius Sneed has a lot of really good traits. Hard worker, puts his head down. We don't really hear much from him, and that's a big plus. So there were 7 teams that reached out to the Chiefs to inquire about L'Jarius Sneed's availability. So if you had 7 teams out there already reaching out, I've heard from some reports that, he's kind of valued around the second round pick because on top of that, other teams are going to have to pay him. And his market value sits at around $16.5 million a year. The Colts absolutely have that money. They have just about $50 million left, even after franchise tagging Michael Pittman Jr. So they can absolutely afford to go out and get a guy like L'Jarius Sneed. But, if you take some other things into consideration, you look at what's out there in the market right now. The Bills just cut a couple guys. They just cut Tre'Davious White. There are a couple of big names out there in the free agency market for cornerbacks. We'll get into free agency a little later. But L'Jarius Sneed will fit really well with the Colts. But back to those 7 teams, and that's all that we know about. L'Jarius Sneed is a very good cornerback, and they're in demand. Any team is going to go out there and give the Chiefs, especially a team that's desperate, they're going to give higher value than a second round pick, and they're going to be willing to pay him the 16.5, probably, maybe even more. You got to take that into consideration. Like you always say in business, like you always say about the world is all about supply and demand, my friend. And if there's a lot of teams out there, if there are some desperate teams out there willing to give a first round pick and pay him, well, that doesn't really matter to the Chiefs how much they're going to pay him. But if there's a team out there willing to get a first round pick and maybe a later round pick in a different year, the team is going to accept that 100%. And that team that is more desperate, that is more needy, that's the team that is going to acquire that player. And we all know the Colts and Chris Ballard, he's not going to overpay. He's not going to go head over heels. He's not going to show desperation, and he's not going to trade for, sign a player. He's not going to do anything out of desperation. That's just not what Chris Ballard does. And I'm thankful for that in a lot of ways, because I think his roster building is sustainable. I think once the team gets going, as it has, it absolutely has the potential to get going here pretty soon. We'll see what we get from Anthony Richardson. Talk about him more next week, as we have former NFL scout Daniel Kelly, former NFL scout of the New York Football Jets, coming on next week. That's going to be pretty exciting. But yeah, L'Jarius Sneed, should the Colts sign him, 27 years old. His market value is around $16 million. So you not only have to trade for him, but you're going to have to pay him. And then, 7 teams acquired for him. Is it really worth being desperate for him? Is it really worth giving up the bank? Which you're not really going to have to give up the bank, but definitely going to be other teams that are going to be desperate, that are going to be offering the Chiefs a large sum of draft picks, a nice draft pick, a nice shiny first round pick, whether it's this year or next year. Chiefs are probably going to want it this year, of course, but definitely a later round first round pick, I would think. So the Colts maybe offer a second and then maybe second or third for next year. I don't really know, but something around those lines, something around those lines I can see. But you look at the rest of the cornerback situation, you ask yourself, are we desperate? Do we need a cornerback that bad? Well, we don't really know if Julius Brents is capable of playing an entire year. He has struggled with injuries already, only into his first year in the NFL. Still really don't have anything. I mean, Delise Flowers had a couple of nice plays last year. He had a couple of impact plays. He got hurt, but Delise Flowers barely had any playing time before last year. You have you have Darrell Baker. I mean, he's an undrafted cornerback, but he had bad times last year. He's not it. It's Jalen Jones. I think Jalen Jones showed some really nice things last year. So you have Julius Brents, you have Jalen Jones. So do you really need to go out there and be desperate? I don't think they should be desperate. Remember, they have the 15th overall pick. They could draft a guy that you're going to have on a 4-year deal. And if you draft in the first round, on top of that, you have the 5th round option or you have the 5th-year option. So you would have the if that cornerback did turn out to either be mediocre or very good, you're still paying much less money, and he's going to be yours. He's going to be homegrown. Sometimes those players are the best of the best. But whether it's Nate Wiggins, Terrion Arnold, I know a lot of people are talking about Kool-Aid maybe going at 15 if the Colts do decide to go with the cornerback. I think Terrion Arnold is better than Kool-Aid, McKinstry, but do the Colts really need to go out and trade for L'Jarius Sneed? If the price is right, abso-freaking-lutely. But as I was saying earlier, it's probably going to be up a little bit, especially, in the NFL, there's always that team. There's always that team that's going to offer more than what the player is really worth, that may show desperation in how much they offer. And that team is more oftentimes going to win the trade battle because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, how much that team is going to pay the player because they already know, this player is going to want X amount of money, so we have no problem paying him. Money isn't really too much of a question when you're trading. The money just lets you, it's pretty important to get you into the trade market if you could actually acquire this guy. If you don't have the money, trade guys, which teams usually do prior to. So sometimes there's that team that just sneaks up out of nowhere and says, "Hey, this is mine. I want him," and then they offer all that capital, and then they offer him all the money at the same time. So there's going to be teams that are very needy for cornerbacks, and to be honest, the Colts are kind of one because Jalen Jones. I did talk very highly about Jalen Jones. I talked pretty good about Julius Brents, but at the end of the day, Julius Brents was hurt more than half the year last year. When he did play, Julius Brents looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. Julius Brents looked pretty good when he played. He was a momentum shifter in one game, made a couple of big impact plays throughout the season. Jalen Jones had a couple of nice moments, but I don't think Jalen Jones is really a number 2. So, and then on top of that, you're losing a slot cornerback this year. Now, does that really matter with L'Jarius Sneed so much coming in? I don't know if L'Jarius plays a slot too much or not. That's something I would have to get back to you guys on, to be honest with you. But you need a slot cornerback as well. So maybe if you want to shore up the outside, if we don't bring Kenny Moore back, say, hey, okay, maybe the slot cornerback will be a little weaker. So maybe we see if we want to throw Jalen Jones in the slot. Maybe throw Delise Flowers or someone else in the slot. Test them out in the slot. And then you're going to have that L'Jarius Sneed on the outside. And then if Julius Brents does turn out really well, awesome. You have 2 number 1 caliber corners at the same time. And that is incredible. Having 2 really good cornerbacks on one team at the same time, it does wonders for your defense. And on top of that, Gus Bradley isn't going to have to play his cornerbacks 15 yards off the receiver because a lot of people complain about that. Gus Bradley playing his cornerbacks so softly, but when you have cornerbacks with very little experience. They barely played at all. He kind of doesn't have too much of a choice. His hands are kind of tied behind his back. He puts his guys up in press, it might be even worse than what it was last year when we played teams that had good receivers or a really good quarterback. We saw what happened to our secondary. Look at the Bengals. Look at the receivers they had. I don't even remember who the quarterback was. Was it Jake Browning? Yeah, it was Jake Browning. He cut us up like it was nothing. So you definitely need, if the price is right, abso-freaking-lutely. And honestly, if you were just able to get him with that first round pick, I think that's too much. I think that's too much because you have one guy to be a really good cornerback. If he doesn't, and you draft a cornerback at 15 here, and he turns out pretty quickly, there you go. If he doesn't turn out quickly, he still works out. There you go. You know, so where I could see it working out for the Colts is if you offer a second round pick and then maybe a second or third next year as well. I mean, that may seem a little pricey, but at least you're not giving up that first. But yeah, it depends on what their price is. If the price is right, then I think it's worth it for the Colts to go after L'Jarius Sneed. If they have to go out and overcompensate, don't even. Just go and draft a cornerback in round one. And if the guy is there that you really like, and I think you're gonna be set. I think you're gonna be pretty good. I think you're gonna be better off because you're gonna get 4 years of really cheap deal, not gonna be crazy expensive, and then you could still allocate some of that money elsewhere. Look at the free agents there are. And then yeah, that's another thing. You can look at the free agents. You have Tre'Davious White, you have a couple of guys on, as free agents that you can absolutely go after. Absolutely go after. But that's it. That's it with L'Jarius Sneed. So we were talking about Kenny Moore a little bit earlier and how he was a free agent. Let's go through some of the free agents. I had to write them down. There were around 10, I think there were. So you have Kenny Moore the second. Do you resign him? I don't think so. And let me tell you why. It seems whenever Kenny Moore is on a contract year, he plays his best ball. But when Kenny Moore is not on a contract year, he's been very inconsistent and he has just not played well. If you go back and look, when his best years happen, they're on contract years. But when he is signed, or when it's not a contract year, he seems to just not play as well. Now, last year, for granted, it was really tough, but still, you're getting paid. You didn't play as well last year, and everyone didn't really play well last year, but still, it's even before last year, I think because I think it was a 3-year deal or 32 something, maybe 40. I genuinely don't remember, but I don't think Kenny Moore is going to come back. To be honest with you, I really don't. I think there's a guy. Maybe you have a guy in the roster that can fill in for slot. Maybe they already have somebody in mind to fill in for Kenny Moore in this slot. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But then you have Julian Blackman. He's a yes. I think you have to bring Julian Blackman back. Or do you sign Jeremy Chin and not resign Julian Blackman? Jeremy Chin is out there. And Jeremy Chin is a very interesting player to look into. He hasn't played as good as his rookie year. He just hasn't been the same. I believe he is from Indiana. So, it'll be homecoming. How much will the Colts be willing to offer him? Are they going to bring Julian Blackman back instead? I think they should bring Julian Blackman in and Jeremy Chin. I say, why the heck not? Why the heck not? I don't see why not. I think they should bring Julian Blackman back, put him on a nice deal where because Julian Blackman's been pretty good for us. He was pretty good last year. He was amazing in a strong safety role in his new role, and it just kind of feels like strong safety in the box, kind of a safety, a sub linebacker. It feels like that's what Julian Blackman's cup of tea is. It's not free range on top a third of the field as a safety. It seems like he's a sub linebacker. Terrell Hubbard, what's up, man? What's going on? I know it's been quite a while. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see how you doing. He just stays injured. Yeah, Julian Blackman does get injured a lot. That's another thing to take into consideration. So you have Julian Blackman, or I don't know if you're here when I said it, but you can go after Jeremy Chin. I think he's a free agent. He would be interesting. He's from Indiana. His rookie year, he was freaking incredible. Since then, he's struggled to recapture some of that magic. Maybe he comes back to his home state, his hometown area-ish. Maybe that could spark a little better play in him, you know? And you have Ronnie Harrison. I mean, if you don't get Jeremy Chin or Julian Blackman, if you don't want those guys back, then I think you should bring Ronnie Harrison back. Even if you just sign one, even if they do just re-sign Julian Blackman, I think I think they might as well bring Ronnie Harrison back. I thought he played pretty well last year as a backup. He's not bad for a backup. He's not bad for a backup. Probably wouldn't sign someone like that though until after the draft. Or wouldn't sign someone until after the draft. That's what's I'm Taekwon Lewis. He's always hurt. Didn't seem like he had a lot of time this year. No. Taven Bryan. I thought he was all right for depth. And considering Grover Stewart is gone, maybe you resign him. Maybe you sign Taven Bryan if you don't have plans to resign Grover Stewart. I think they should bring Grove back, but Grove is getting a little older. He's getting up there in age. So maybe you bring Taven Bryan back. And then maybe you look for a guy in the second or third round. Maybe you go after that Newton from Illinois. I heard he's a beast. I heard he is wildly athletic. Jake Martin, no. Avery Gennard, no. Pittman, we just resigned. I don't know why I wrote him down. Isaiah McKenzie, no. He was suspended for team conduct, something along those lines. He's going to be gone. I doubt he comes back. Danny Pitter, no. Gardner Minshew. Do we bring Gardner Minshew back? I don't think so. I think you invest into a guy late in the draft for a backup. You know, it's going to be a little cheaper. Are you really going to re-sign Gardner Minshew? He's going to want a little bit more money. There'll be other teams out there that are going to offer him more money to be a backup or to possibly be a bridge. There are many teams out there that can use that. So I think the price is going to be driven up for that reason. So why not go out there, draft a guy late in the draft? Maybe even just draft an insurance policy for Anthony Richardson. Like a guy for the future if AR doesn't turn out. Maybe if Spencer Rattler is available in the 4th or 5th round by some miracle, I think they should take him. Spencer Rattler, man, I'm telling you, Spencer Rattler is going to be a monster. He's going to be great. It's going to be great. When I was watching Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler that one year, I'm like, I wasn't a fan of Sam Howell. I kind of ate my words a little bit at the beginning of the season because Sam Howell was looking good, but then he just took a complete nosedive. Complete nosedive. And in the NFL anyway, Sam Howell. Now, when I was watching him in college, I don't know, something just didn't strike me right about Sam Howell. Something just didn't really seem right. And with Spencer Rattler, even though he was, he was benched for Caleb Williams at Oklahoma and all that, and he definitely had those bad years. And then he went to a smaller school, played better there, played good under pressure. I think that kid has shown a lot. And I think that Spencer Rattler can grow a lot as well. I think he's very coachable at this point now. I think Spencer Rattler has a bright NFL future. And I kind of went back into the caves, into the darkness, not talking about Spencer Rattler, oh, he's probably bad, but no. But I don't know, man. Kind of came back out just believe in yourself after you had all this hype about Brock Purdy within yourself and kind of didn't tell anybody because you're like, you're kind of scared what people think. Nah, screw that, man. Screw that. I ain't going with that no more. I'm going with what I think, what I believe, And I think Spencer Rattler can be quite the quarterback in the NFL for years and years to come. He's overcome a lot of adversity in college. And I think he's a big play machine. He does have some turnover-worthy plays and some questionable plays in there. He's kind of inconsistent in that part of the game, in his game. But I think Spencer Rattler I think the sky is the limit for that kid. Truly. Truly, I think Spencer Rattler can be something special. But Spencer Rattler probably isn't realistic to get in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round. I honestly don't know who's going to be available that late. I've looked through guys. I haven't looked through them in a while. Kind of taking a break from this stuff, just getting back into it now a little bit. But Gardner Minshew, do we resign Gardner Minshew? I say no. You draft someone mid to late round, day 2, day 3, you draft someone. And if you could get a guy like Spencer Rattler, say in the 4th round, 3rd or 4th round, I'd say draft the insurance policy for your future in case Anthony Richardson doesn't turn out, but I know it's not going to happen. So, not going to keep going that subject. Zach Moss. Do we bring Zach Moss back? Yes. Yes. And listen to why I say so. You may end up very well spending the most money in your running back room. I don't know how much Christian McCaffrey is being paid and such over there in San Francisco or other running back rooms. But is it worth paying an exorbitant amount of money to 2 running backs? Yes. I think it is worth keeping the band together, JT, Zach Moss, for the sake of Anthony Richardson and giving Anthony Richardson the best possible chance to succeed. This is exactly what I said about re-signing Jonathan Taylor. I say yes. Offer Jonathan Taylor the $15, $16, $17 million a year while Anthony Richardson is on his rookie deal. Give Anthony Richardson the best possible chance to succeed while you can. Because once he's off his rookie deal, are you going to want to re-sign him if he's not playing well? Are you going to want to offer him that 5th-year option if he's not playing well? No. This way, if he works out, you get the 5th-year option. You'll accept it, so you get another year of not having to fully pay him so much if he works out. That's the thing. I think you just need to give him the best possible supporting cast if you want him to take it home, if you want him to be the guy. You want to know, don't you? So you have to give him the absolute best chance you can. And that's what they would be doing with re-signing Zach Moss in case Jonathan Taylor goes down, or just having that nasty 1-2 punch. Imagine having Taylor, Moss, and Anthony Richardson in the same backfield all at the same time. You have a bruiser JT and Zach Moss are very difficult to bring down, but one is obviously more athletic than the other. Like, one is just a little more shifty. JT, one of the most shifty backs in the league when he's healthy, when he's 100%. Just and then just the pure athletic threat of Anthony Richardson. It would be scary for defensive coordinators at night trying to drop a game plan, trying to get something figured out against JT, Zach Moss, and Anthony Richardson in the backfield. I'm not saying you have to offer Zach Moss $16 million a year. I'm not saying you have to offer him a 3-4 year contract. I think a 2-year contract worth $10 million a year. Why not? Why not? No, maybe 10 mil is a little too much. Maybe like 7.5, 2 years. I think that's worth it. If that means helping your young quarterback develop into possibly one of the best in the league, which I don't think it's going to happen, but you're giving him the best chance to do so, I think that is worth the extra $7.5 million a year that you're going to contribute to your running back room. If that's the reason why, there's never going to be one specific thing you pinpoint to, and that's going to be the reason why he turned out. But if you could say that contributed to Anthony Richardson becoming one of the best quarterbacks in the league, then do it. Then why not? You need to give him the absolute best chance to become what you want him to become. If you wait too long, you're not going to be able to. If you wait until he really passes a growing spurt, he's really past the point of being able to develop too much and take those bigger steps. Like they say, you can't teach a old dog new tricks. So once the players start getting older, once they start getting up there, there kind of just becomes a time where they can't really improve. It's very rare that they do later in their career. Like, look what Geno Smith did. Very rare for something like that to happen. But that's why there's an exception. Because for something to be true, there has to be some kind of exception. Rules need exceptions. That's how rules are proven, with exceptions. So, I think you re-sign Zach Moss. I think so. I think that's in the best interest. I'm not sure if they will. There will probably be another team, like we were just talking about earlier with L'Jarius Sneed. There's going to be that other team that's going to act desperate and pay all this money to a running back. Then let him go. I say don't pay more than $6-7 million a year for him. Even if it's just even if it's just a 1 year, $10 million contract, fine. You're giving AR the best possible chance to succeed. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. All right. Rigoberto Sanchez. I love saying his name, but sometimes I can't say it right. Rigoberto Sanchez. Sometimes I just can't say it. I love saying it. But no, I don't think so. I think since he's had that Achilles injury, his punting wasn't the same last year. It wasn't anywhere near the same. It just wasn't. It wasn't, his kicking wasn't getting as far. And the punting just wasn't as good as it was before the Achilles. And that's understandable. It's a tough injury. Sometimes players come back and they're just not quite the same. It's kind of what it has seemed like for Rigoberto Sanchez. So do we bring him back? I don't know. I think the Colts should explore options in free agency, in UDFAs after the draft and such. Just please don't draft one. I trust you, Chris, enough to not draft a punter. You'd be surprised. Some teams draft punters, some teams draft kickers in the third round, like San Francisco. Didn't the Jets draft a kicker in the second round at one point? That might have been the Jets. Might have been someone else. Might have been the Browns. I have no clue. Nonetheless, I think you guys know what I'm saying. All right, next up. Talk about Michael Pittman Jr., him getting tagged. Did the Colts butcher this? Why did the Colts take so long to re-sign Michael Pittman Jr.? I simply don't understand. Michael Pittman has turned into a type of player you don't wait until the last minute to re-sign him. You don't wait until the last minute to just franchise tag him. No. They should have had his contract done last offseason. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I said give Pittman a year before you resign him. So, kind of something I said. So, I'm kind of being a hypocrite, but I'm also understanding that I was very wrong, that we should have re-signed Michael Pittman ASAP and that he is worth wide receiver one money. I was just being very naive. You should re-sign Michael Pittman Jr. Should have. Absolutely. I would have thought they would have at least at the latest signed him in the middle of the season. Now you wait till the offseason. You let him go home. You let him think about it. You let him, and you don't bring him back right away. A player of his caliber, you need to lock up ASAP. Without Michael Pittman Jr., where would the Colts have been last year? Even the last couple of years. He is one of the very few players that shows up every single season, every single week, whether it's and on top of that, he could block, he could catch. His route running has gotten so much better, it's not even funny. And on top of that, he doesn't complain about getting paid. He actually said during the season, or even like right before the season, I'm not worried about getting paid. I want to play this season, then see what happens. And I respect the heck out of that. How many wide receivers do you see around the league saying, yeah, I'll wait, I'll wait to get paid. I'm not in a rush. How many receivers that are number one caliber receivers say that? That are number one caliber? Not many, if any, at all. So I was very wrong about Pittman. It's not that I didn't think he wasn't good. I just always thought, sometimes he didn't show up, but it really wasn't all him. Michael Pittman did his absolute best. He went out every single week and played his heart out. Played the best that he possibly could. He gave the team the best that he possibly could. When you have guys like Matt Ryan, you have a new guy throwing to you every year, it's difficult to adjust. And that's how Michael Pittman has developed. How many receivers could develop having one crappy quarterback after one crappy quarterback after another? How many receivers develop into what Pittman has in that way? Not many. And yeah, Pittman goes out there every single week. He doesn't complain. He doesn't bitch. He doesn't go off. Like, he goes out there, he plays hard, and then he's quiet. He doesn't complain if he doesn't get the ball thrown his way. He doesn't complain when something doesn't go the way that's supposed to for him. His best interest is the team. So Pittman's a great receiver, and he's a better teammate. He's a great locker room guy. And this is a guy that you want to remain a Colt for his entire career. And I think he wants to himself. So just get him re-signed ASAP, Indy. Come on, man. Please. Get him re-signed ASAP. Caliber player he is. Get him the money he deserves. Get him extended. He deserves it. But Michael Pittman Jr. re-signed. And, something else I would say, though, is, even though I just said all those great things about Michael Pittman Jr., now that you're putting him on the franchise tag, if you paid him this year, you probably would have paid 24, $23 million a year, maybe 25. I think he would be worth 25. If you paid him now, you will probably pay less than you will in the future, because now you have him on this 1-year deal. You're giving him another opportunity to get even better, which is great for him. Awesome. And it's better for the team. But if you resigned him before he had before he makes he makes another jump. Well, now since you didn't pay him, now you're going to have to put another jump in how much you pay him. Now you're going to have to make another jump and adding a few more $1 million onto the deal per year. And the NFL's a business, right? What happened? Am I not live? Am I not live? Everything's good? Could you hear me? Say, could you guys hear me? Let me click on the video. It's not live. Am I not? View on YouTube. It started over? Yeah. Yeah, we're good, because I just checked it, and it shows. Okay, we're good. Alright. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, though. Something probably going on. Something wacky is probably going on. I don't know why my internet's kinda being wacky right now. I don't know why. I have my own right here plugged right into my PC, so I'm not sure why that's happening. But about the Michael Pittman stuff, this stuff just should have been done. It should have been done a while ago, because now instead of maybe paying $23 to $24 million a year, now if he has another really good season like he did last year, now you're probably going to be paying him 27, 28, maybe even 29 million per year. But Pittman might just end up being worth that much. I think Pittman truly, genuinely has the opportunity to be that kind of receiver. And what's even better about seeing Michael Pittman doing what he's doing is it's been an awesome slow growth. And I know sometimes everyone just wants to be great right away, or you're not going to play here, or you're not good. If you're not good season one, get out of here. You're not it. No, I can't stand when people do that, man. No, Michael Pittman Jr. It has been one of the very few things us Colts fans have been able to really enjoy is Michael Pittman's development, his love for the game, his love for the city, and that he truly wants to play for the Colts. It truly has been a gem, a joy, a gift to be able to watch Michael Pittman grow into what he has. He's gotten better every single year. His route running from when he came out to now, it's night and day different. Night and day better. So much better than what it was. His hands have always been great. He has always went up and made those fantastic contested catches. He's always done that. Always. And he will continue to do it. Hopefully, we finally have the guy in Anthony Richardson to consistently be able to throw the ball to Pittman. Like Pittman gonna go down under Richardson? Like you think what like he's not gonna be as good, you mean? That that's why I'm saying hopefully he'll be better with AR. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think you've seen some of my videos. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I'm not the biggest Anthony Richardson believer. I'm not the biggest Anthony Richardson fan. And it's because he's so raw. He was so raw coming out. And next week, next Thursday, same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we will have a former NFL scout coming on to talk about Anthony Richardson. So I'm not going to talk about too much. You neither. All right. So I actually have someone that agrees with me. All right. But I think Anthony Richardson, like the pure amount of times AR is just going to throw it up and Pittman's just going to find a way to catch it. I could see Pittman having a fantastic year off of those alone. But yeah, I don't know if Anthony Richardson is the guy to, throw into the tight windows, be accurate all the time, and this and that. And I don't know if he has what it takes to be a future franchise guy. I don't know if he's going to be the guy, honestly. And you know, I I just don't see it. I don't see it in AR. He's an incredible athlete. We all know that he's right. He ran a 4.44. He's what 6'6", 250 pounds now. He's a monster. How many? And he broke the vertical jump in the combine. Awesome, fine, okay. Why don't you tell me about John Ross? He broke the 40 time. All of a sudden, he shot up draft boards. He was drafted number 9, drafted 10. I think he was drafted over Patrick Mahomes. I think that might have been the draft of Patrick. I'm not sure, but I think he was drafted the pick before Mahomes when the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs traded up. Just think about it. Look at all these guys that have great combines, right? They have phenomenal combines, and then they actually have to play. They actually have to execute. They're nowhere to be found. How many years do these guys last in the NFL? Look at Montez Sweat. He was hyped up. Didn't he run like the fastest 40 time or something? Didn't he run the fastest 40 time for a defensive end? Like you know what I'm saying? These guys don't always athleticism doesn't always translate to being a great football player. Great athleticism doesn't mean great football player. I think Downs get more catches. I love Downs. And the guy we're bringing on next week, his name is Daniel Kelly. He's a former NFL scout. He was a former NFL scout with the New York Jets. And he had Josh Downs as the best in the draft class last year. And I'm like, okay, bet. But yeah, that's exciting. Head to table 23. What is up, man? It's been a minute. Hey, bro. Just saw you live right now. Hope you are good. I'm excited for my Texans free agency targets. Man, I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. There's so much to look forward to as a Texans fan. Look at CJ Stroud, bro. And, just sitting here as a Colts fan, I'm like, like, CJ Stroud's the guy. Colts fans are sitting here. So many of them are sitting here and be like, yeah, AR's the answer. He's going to be top 10, top 5 quarterback next year. Okay, bro, chill out. We don't even know if he's going to be top 15, top 20. Let's chill out in the top 10, top 5 vibes. So let's chill out. Let's see it before we say it, okay? Does he have the potential to? Yes, he does. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that he has one of the best work ethics I've seen. He works very hard. He has great character. He has all of that stuff that you want in a leader, in a good football player, in a great football player. He has everything you want someone to. He has everything you want. Everything in a player that you want. He has everything in a player that you want to lead your franchise. But could he execute when it matters most? Could he actually do it on the field? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's an honest question. We haven't seen it yet. He barely played at Florida. So I don't see the future. I don't see the next 15 years in Anthony Richardson. If we sign Saquon, I'm definitely getting his jersey with our new uniforms debuting. So that'd be fun for you. That'd be fun for you. Saquon going to Houston with CJ Stroud. Whew, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be fun to watch. Not when you're playing my Colts. not when you're playing my Colts. Our Colts. But hey, I'm still gonna enjoy you guys playing whether you're playing the Colts or not. Regardless, I may be a little more aggravated in the moment. I may be a little more, these guys suck in the moment, but truly, deep down that it's nice. They're nice. They have a nice future, and it's exciting to see a franchise has never really. I think you guys know what I mean. It's been a poverty franchise, and seeing them blossom, what they have blossomed with CJ Stroud, they might finally have their guy. It's genuinely fun to watch, genuinely. But yeah, guys, I'm officially going to open up to you guys. I know there's not a ton of people here, but I'm going to officially open it up to you guys. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Anything you guys want me to talk about. That's really it for the last 13 minutes or so. I might even stay on longer, honestly. We'll see. I never limit it to a certain time. I never maximize it to a certain time. I just say, hey, we go until it feels like it's the right time to get off. Bro, my mustache here, like the one side is staying down, and the other side is just saying, nah, I don't want to stay down. So you know what? We're just going to leave it. Nah, bro, it's bothering me. We're just going to push it off. Bother me. I'm trying to grow it long enough so I can curl it up a little bit, maybe. Be a little fancy. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's kind of something that I'm kind of relishing, trying to get it going a little bit. What do you think about the Mike Evans re-signing? Honestly, I feel he should have left Tampa, but I guess he's good with the ring. Yeah, you know what? Deep down, I thought he was going to stay in Tampa. It just doesn't feel right seeing Mike Evans in any other uniform. It doesn't. He got a ring with Tampa Bay. He's been there 10, 11, 12 years, however long. He's been there for more than a decade, I think. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's an awesome receiver, awesome 50-50 guy. I mean, I just can't see him in any other uniform. I can't. Where do you think he would have gone? I don't think he would have came to Indianapolis. I know some people were talking about that. I'm like, bro, listen. We have Michael Pittman Jr. Is he the caliber of Mike Evans? No. He's the only receiver in league history to do 10, 11, or 12 straight seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards. No, I'm not saying that Pittman isn't capable of being as good as Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is the pure definition of consistency at its finest. Every single year he's going out there making big plays. Michael Pittman will get his moments. He's had a few really nice moments, but Michael Pittman, I think he can be in a similar light at the end of his career, I think he's kind of like not a poor man's version of Mike Evans. I think he's a little less of Mike Evans, if you know what I'm saying. Bro, see the mustache? Like, bro, see, look. I freaking put one side up, and it just goes down. The side just don't want to cooperate. They just don't want to cooperate. Why is it? Whatever. But yeah, I don't. But yeah, Mike Evans. Where else would he really have gone? I know other teams would have offered him. Absolutely. Sometimes at the end of some players' careers, we just see them go someplace else. We see them test out free agency for the first time ever, like T.Y. Hilton did. Even Tom Brady did. He wanted to test the waters out. He wanted to test free agency out. He wanted to try. Sometimes it's just something that players want to test out one time in their career. Sometimes they just want a change of scenery, a change of pace. But I don't see Mike Evans wanting that change of pace. I don't see Mike Evans wanting to go anywhere else. I don't think he needs to. We all know who Mike Evans is. He's great. Honestly, is Mike Evans a Hall of Famer? I think so. I see that as a common question that comes up with a lot of people. And that answer is actually pretty surprising. A lot of people are actually split down the middle. Well, not literally, but a lot of people will tell you that they don't think Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. Evans' contract was the reason I'm glad we didn't go after him. Underrated signing for us. I want is going after Jordan Poyer, L'Jarius White after they just called him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good players. Awesome players. Would not mind it one bit. But do we want to get older as we were just striving to get younger? Do we want to sign Jordan Poyer is probably in his 30s, right? Right? Let's see. Jordan Poyer. How old is Jordan Poyer? 32 years old. Yeah, I don't know about signing him. Maybe if it's a 1-year deal, maybe. And then Trey White, what is he like 28, 29 now? Plus he's had, he started to have he's 29 years old. He started to have injury issues. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't mind Tre'Davious White for like a veteran type of guy. Kind of what he would be. Even L'Jarius Sneed we were talking about earlier in the season. No, you're not talking about the Texans. Take one back. You're talking about the Texans too, bro. I think that's what you mean about signing those guys. My apologies. I thought you kind of meant the Colts because that's just kind of what my mind was at the moment. But yeah, that would be yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to offer him $25 million a year. But yeah, that is kind of the same case for you guys, though. I would say, for the Texans, you're trying to stay young. You're trying to kind of get new blood in there. And I think signing Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer would kind of be. I mean, I think Tre'Davious White would actually be a good signing for you guys. I don't know about Jordan Poyer. I think Tre'Davious White can be an awesome veteran. I don't think you need both. I think you can sign one or the other, and it'd be fine. I don't think you should sign both, though. But, yeah, guys. Let's see. Hey, we gained a subscriber from the stream. Sweet. 20 views in the 20 viewers in an hour. It's pretty good for not being live or getting going for quite some time. Hot Take Tuesday will be back next week. We'll do one episode, and then we're gonna take another break, maybe till draft time, and then after draft time, take another. It's just kind of how the off season is going to be for Hot Take Tuesday. Otherwise, it kind of gets really repetitive with the topics. What position are you hoping the Colts draft first, and any rookies you have your eye on? So I know a lot of people, like from the consensus, seeing the common picks for the Colts has been cornerback, like Nate Wiggins out of Bama. No, Nate Wiggins is out of Clemson. Clemson. Then you have Terrion Arnold from Alabama, Julian McKinstry from Alabama. People are talking about Brian Thomas from LSU, Brian Thomas Jr. I don't see Malik Neighbors making it that low. I know some people are saying Romeo Dubes. I don't think he makes it down there. Um, no, not Romeo Dubes. That's dude's from the Packers. Who's the dude coming out of Washington? Rome Odunze. I don't know. I know Rome Odunze is pretty good. A lot to think about his game. Lots to like a lot about Brian Thomas's game. I actually had to go through and see the results from the combine. I didn't watch it. I would like to go through and look at the results because I didn't go through them at all. Like I said, I took a break from football and all that stuff. But what position am I hoping they draft? Let's see. You got cornerback. Cornerback is a pretty big need. I would put it right up there in the top of the list, unless I go through anything else here and I think something is desperately needing some help more than the cornerback room. Safety room depends. If Julian Blackman doesn't come back, I think the safety room could be in a bit of trouble. There is this guy. I think it was not Jalen Jones. Was he? Oh, it was a UCLA kid. Okay, no. Okay, let's stay on topic. You have cornerback, maybe defensive tackle, because Grover Stewart isn't re-signed. Ooh. That reminds me. Dolphins. They not re-signed. They have not re-signed, nor have they tagged Christian Wilkins. Okay, this could be the perfect opportunity for the Colts to get youth within the interior of the defensive line. Christian Wilkins, if he actually hits the market, if he actually hits free agency, I think the Colts need to make a big push for him. I would not be shocked one bit if the Colts sign Christian Wilkins. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple years ago, Christian Wilkins was actually one of the consensus guys for the Colts to draft out of Clemson. I think they traded out and they actually got DeForest Buckner. No, that might have, no. I think this was. I don't remember exactly what draft it was. It might have been the Quiddy Pay draft. I honestly don't remember. Might have been the Pittman draft, which that might have been when we just had the second round pick. Yeah, that was our first. I don't remember what draft, but Christian Wilkins was highly regarded, and a lot of people wouldn't have been surprised if Christian Wilkins went to the Colts. It was a very commonplace from the mock drafts. And now that DeForest Buckner's getting older, Grover Stewart, he's not here right now. I mean, with DeForest Buckner, like I just said, DeForest Buckner's getting older. Grover Stewart, we don't even know if he's going to be back next year right now. He's probably testing the market, seeing how much that he could get from the Colts, maybe testing his value. Maybe he will go someplace else. Sign Christian Wilkins. I'd rather sign Wilkins than re-sign Grover Stewart. Christian Wilkins would be an incredible addition to the Colts. If that kind of player hits the market, I think you need to go after him because Buckner's getting older and he's kind of the best shot you have at guaranteeing that you have the guy on the interior for the next 7, 8, 9 years. Christian Wilkins is a dog. Christian Wilkins is insane. No chance of us getting Marvin Harrison. Yeah, Colts are in the same boat as well. Marvin Harrison Jr. is definitely probably going first 4 or 5. Wouldn't shock me if he goes 1 or 2. Truly wouldn't. CJ, but the receiver I pray we drafted is Xavier Worthy. He's fast and plenty of other skills. Like Tank though, yeah, dude, Xavier Worthy. Yeah. Isn't that the dude that broke the combine? That broke the 40-yard dash record? Right? Or was it Adonai Mitchell? It was one of the guys no, it was Xavier Worthy. I'm pretty confident it was. Confirm for me, please. I think it was him, but yeah. But yeah, I've heard some really good things about Xavier Worthy. Also heard on Twitter from good reporters that Christian Wilkins Texas. Nah, no, 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 no. We want him. I want him. I want him. Come on, I don't want to face CJ Stroud on one side, Christian Wilkins and Derek Stingley. No, bro. We don't need Will Anderson, Christian Wilkins on the same deep or Jonathan Greener, bro. We don't need all those guys on the same defensive line, please. But all in all, Texans are a good spot for him. But bro, come on. I would like Christian Wilkins. I would like Christian Wilkins. I think he would be an awesome fit to kind of, getting ready to move on from Buckner because Buckner's getting older. And if you don't listen, if you don't re-sign Grover Stewart, just freaking sign Christian Wilkins, bro. I think they should make signing Christian Wilkins a bigger priority than re-signing Grover Stewart. Because you could re-sign Grover Stewart fine, but the pros outweigh the cons by a mile. By a mile. If you sign Christian Wilkins re-signing Grover Stewart. Imagine Christian Wilkins and DeForest Buckner on the same interior with Samson and Buckham on one side and Kwity Paye on the other. That would be a nice defensive line. I'm not even gonna lie. Not even gonna stunt. And see, do you sink more money into the interior? After if the Colts sign Christian Wilkins, I don't think you sink any more money into Grover Stewart. I don't think you sink any more big money into anyone up front like that. I don't know if we will give him the money, but even Patrick Queen talks with us. This is first time in my life excited for Texans offseason. I get it. I bet. I bet. Now you got to be excited about some of the offseason with Deshaun Watson. But yeah, you probably really don't you don't want to think about that. But now that you're in a different situation, now it's kind of like screw it, big deal now. But um, yeah, man. I mean, the Texans have a lot to be excited for. Texans fans have a lot to be excited for. Truly do, truly do. But yeah, guys, I think get ready to head off here. Been on for over an hour. Doing some other things I have to get done. I started another business actually. I started a company. See, I think I have my logo in here. I can promote it a little bit. So, little promotion here for my own brand, actually. No, it's not even here. All right, so real quick before we get back in the comments, there's our sponsor for today's video, my own company, or for today's live, J Pyre Video Productions. So, what we are is we are a social media marketing agency. We help people build their business. We help people manage their websites, get you leads, turn those leads into customers, and get you guys. And I want to get you sales, get you some results within your business. So if you have a business or you know somebody that has a business, send them my way because I'm going to help them grow it. I'm going to help them grow it. You get a 14-day free trial. And the first month is 50% off the service. So if you, a family member, somebody that you know that has a business, looking for someone to manage your social media, do some marketing, get you out there, get some sales. Doesn't matter what it is. Is it a dentist office? Is it a uh, landscaping, construction contractor, plumbers? Even if you just have a simple website, or even if you have a fitness coach or a gym, I got you. I got you. Send them my way. Get their business going. That's today's sponsor from J-Pyre. Or J-Pyre. My first sponsor. Interesting. Are you going to live stream the draft, by the way? With that. That was a horrible sponsor ad. Horrible. But it was just off the tip of the tongue. It just rolled off. I didn't write a script or nothing. Are you gonna live stream the draft, by the way? I'm not sure. I usually watch a draft with my dad or my fam. Someone, or like a friend or something. But yeah, that's how I usually watch a draft. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what goes on that night. Maybe I'll. We don't usually draft days 2 and or watch days 2 and 3 together. So could watch day. We could. I might stream day 2 or 3. Don't know how much I'll know about these players, but maybe just a way to chill out, talk with you guys, and get the stream going. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Definitely get that figured out because what the draft is April 28th, 29th. That's what it usually is. But yeah, I'll try to. I'll try to do at least one day. At least one day. That would be my goal. Yes. Yes. Put in the books. I'm at least going to do it one day. One day. But probably not the first day. It's possible. It's possible. But all right, guys. It's going to be it. I think I'm going to do our send off. Appreciate you guys for joining. Thank you, Head of the Table. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you for being understanding, getting back into the swing of things here. Really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Hot Take Tuesday will be back next week, along with we'll be getting the former NFL scout on the show, talking about Anthony Richardson and if he thinks AR is the future or not. Maybe some quarterback in the draft. That's going to be it for today. I truly appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Really, I'm excited to be back. I missed you guys. Just had to take a break. Started a company. Starting an agency. A lot of work. But yeah, I think I'm gonna plan to go live every Thursday. I think that's a good plan. I think that's a good idea. Do a live show every Thursday. Some will be longer, some will be shorter. Just gonna go with the flow. You know, maybe we'll try to get special guests on every Thursday for half an hour, and then have the other half an hour just be to us. Could do that. But yeah. All right, guys. That's it from me. Once again, thank you, Head of the Table. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you for tuning in to the JWS Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. I miss saying that stuff, man. I miss it. I miss being on. But all right, we'll be back for Hot Take Tuesday. As for your hot takes, Monday or Sunday, and then Thursday we'll be back for another live. And I may post some videos here and there. I might take some snippets from this live and snip them up, throw them up as vids. So, that's all you got from me. JW Sports Talk Show, signing off.